Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and these are some of the top stories we have for you tonight. A man is shot and carjacked on St. Croix. A Crucian feast with culture and heritage. And we take a look at the upcoming festival calendar. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8. In our top story tonight, there'll be a traditional Crucian feast at the Frederiksted Fort this weekend. It's a fundraiser for the CHANT organization. News Channel 8's Wes Small has the story.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. Boy, it's wonderful to be flanked by two beautiful women. On the right, the executive director of CHANT, the lovely Miss Frandel Gerard, and then Amina Salim. We go way back. She is the co-chair of this wonderful organization. They've got an event that they're going to chat about. We're right behind Polly's here, and job blessing us with this wonderful sun, good weather, Frandel. Please tell us what CHANT's been up to recently.
Sure thing. Well, CHANT's been always working to promote cultural heritage and nature tourism. That's what it stands for. And we've been busy planning Crucian Fusion, Traditional Gone Gourmet, which is scheduled for Friday, December the 9th. We're bringing in one of our own, Chef Orlando Santos, who was recently on Bravo's Top Chef, Just Desserts.
Yes.
He's coming in as our guest chef. When we invited him, he was a chef. Now he's our guest celebrity chef.
Wow.
And we've got about 25 local restaurateurs and cooks and foodies who've signed up. And you can just come out to the fort at 5:30. We start. We have a cocktail hour. And then at 6:30 is general admission, and everybody will get to taste the food offerings of all of the cooks and the chefs, including the desserts that will be prepared by Chef Orlando Santos.
Wow, I know somebody going to try to kidnap him and say, come to my house for the holidays, please. Wow, Amina, she said, Miss Frandel Gerard said a lot here about this event. Orlando Santos, now a top celebrity chef, and this should bring a lot of good things to this event in your organization.
We are so proud of him, and we're so proud that we're able to bring him home for this. It's really important to support our own, but also when we thought about this, we thought about Crucian food. I mean, we love Crucian food, and a lot of the old dishes are not being made anymore. And we want to celebrate that, and we also want to lighten it up and make it gourmet. Sometimes people think that, oh, we don't have gourmet food. Our food is gourmet, and it looks good, and it can taste good. And so we want the chefs and all the cooks out there to come out, who are coming out, to do that, do a grand presentation, show people the wonderful things about our food. And one of the things that CHANT is that we talk about our culture and our heritage. One of our heritage and cultures is food. So let's present it in a manner that people will just be in awe, and the taste is going to be great. And we have so many good cooks coming out. We have a lechon station that people are going to be able to get lechon, and we have all the cooks making a sauce for that lechon. We have a number of different things that are going to be special. We have music. We have the ambassadors, the Quail Bay ambassadors coming to play for us. We have a number of activities that are going to be going on, and this is all in the fort on the 9th. What we really need people to do is to come out and support us. This is us talking about our tourism. This is what we want people to see. And we want them to see our food. And so we want you to come out and taste it, enjoy it, have a good time, and support CHANT, because the work that we do is unbelievable. Frandel does a fantastic job. We have the cruise ships. We have tour guides doing tours of Frederiksted. There's so many different things that go on for CHANT. I think people don't know about it. But without us, there'll be a big hole in tourism in St. Croix. And so we need you to support us, and coming out to this event will do that.
All right. I'm getting hungry already. So that is, again, it's at the fort, and it's December 9th.
December 9th, 5:30 tickets for the 5:30 to 6:30 cocktail hour, which then allows you to stay for the rest of the night, of course, are $75. And general admission tickets, where you come in at 6:30, those tickets are $50 per person.
Right.
And there's something else happening on December the 7th that's really exciting. We're partnering with several sponsors, including Department of Tourism and the VI Department of Agriculture. And on Wednesday, the Department of Agriculture is holding a virgin fresh chef's farmers market at their facility in Bethlehem from 7 to 3. And all of the chefs participating in Crucian Fusion on Friday are getting vouchers from the Department of Agriculture to go and buy fresh produce from our local farmers, because we want to really highlight not only just the local food, but locally produced food.
All local, my son. I'm Wes Small in Frederickstead for News Channel 8.
And in other news tonight, a man was shot and carjacked last night in the town of Frederickstead. News Channel 8's Wes Small has that story and a holiday warning for all of us.
Thanks a lot, Jerome. We had another carjacking incident as I am here in Frederickstead in the King Street area. Here is the Frederickstead Hotel area here, and as the cameraman pans that way, you can see that that is the main road that way there, through that area there. Here's what we have. At around 6:30 last night, the police report shows that a 43-year-old was in a small black car, apparently facing this way, and he claims, I believe, that he was eating at the time. But what happened then, he was shot at least once in his hip area, and his car was taken. That is the word unofficially that I have. Right now, then, let's go with Melody Rames of the Virgin Island Police Department with more.
Police on St. Croix are investigating a first-degree robbery, first-degree assault, and carjacking that occurred Tuesday evening in Frederickstead. The victim was shot in the hip as he fled the scene. According to the preliminary police report, a 43-year-old man was sitting on a wall on Market Street in Frederickstead eating food when an unknown man approached him from behind and demanded money. The victim turned and saw a man wearing a black ski mask and aiming a black handgun toward him. He told the suspect he didn't have any money and began to run down the street. The suspect then discharged at least one shot, hitting the victim in his hip. The suspect also took the victim's car, which was left nearby with the keys in it. The victim was taken to the Governor Juan F. Louis Hospital and Medical Center for treatment. This case will be followed up by the Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives, and police are urging anyone who has any information regarding this crime to call detectives at 712-6037, 712-6077, or you can call Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
All right, just talked to some people close to the incident, and they did say that this is the location, and he was parked right here. If you know anything more about that, you should call 911, or you should call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. We understand that he was probably talkative and responding as emergency responders took him, so hopefully it's not life-threatening and they can get that vehicle back. But I can tell you, as holiday season approaches and Christmas time approaches, be very careful about, your comings and goings. You know the do's and don'ts, and just be very careful. Lock up your vehicle, and as you do your Christmas shopping or what have you, just be careful about visible things in your car. Let's face it, these good-for-nothings are out here, and they're shopping as well, so to speak. So with that, we're looking for a small black car apparently in this area. The incident happened yesterday at 6:30. The person, at least the VIPD, has his age at 43. There's some other word that possibly as he's older, like 53, the victim is. But nonetheless, that is the story from Frederickstead. I am Wes Small for News Channel 8.
Thanks, Wes. And, well, the police commissioner designee spoke earlier today on the Holland Redfield Talk Show. Let's take a look.
There's certain challenges anywhere you go. Obviously, you were really challenged when you went into Georgia, right?
Without question.
Without question. Now, you're going to be challenged here. As you start to assess the folks that are working under you, let's put it this way, the folks that are working with you, and I'm sure you agree with me, they're working with you.
Yes.
So how do you do this, and what do you do as far as being able to step back and get the real story as you're going through this process?
Well, the first thing you got to do is get outside rather, of the support group, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You got to meet people, talk to the community, and get the reaction of folk that deal with the police department,
Right.
As a customer, because that's what we are. We're in the people business, and definitely talk to the troops in the street. That's where you're going to know what you're doing. What I've been able to do, and what has been a problem for me, for one thing, is that there are so many folk that factor in, and each one has his or her idea as to how this is supposed.
Right.
So now I'm in the position of being a sponge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just receiving information. There'll be some that I'll be able to use, others.
You're filtering.
That's correct. That's
Right.
correct.
Just like the legislature will be vetting with you.
Yes, it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. I'm comfortable in doing that. And I've had an opportunity to get a pretty broad view, but after all, I've only been here 23 days. And so it's been an awakening thing, but I will say this: the difference between what I see here in the territory as opposed to stateside is that nobody can pack up and leave if they're not happy.
Correct.
Okay?
Or hook to the hip.
If you live in the States and you're unhappy about circumstances, you get your kid and the dog and you pack up and you go to Ponok, Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that here. So everybody lives in the same territory. You got the bad guys, you have police officers, and the good thing is that the police officers live where they serve.
Sure.
In my years, if there's one thing that's always a positive and a plus, is that the officers need to be an integral part of the community that they serve.
And we want to acknowledge Earl Morris and thank him for bringing us that footage tonight. And also, a 32-year-old man on St. Thomas was shot last night. Here's VIPD spokesperson Melody Rames with more.
Criminal Investigation Bureau detectives on St. Thomas are actively investigating a third-degree assault that occurred shortly after 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday, November 29th, in Estate Savan. A 32-year-old man was shot in his leg by unknown assailants. Police officers were dispatched to Levkoy Strada in reference to a gunshot victim. They arrived on the scene within minutes and saw the victim, who said he was shot. The victim was taken to the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center by ambulance. While at the hospital, the victim told police that he was driving down Hill Street when he saw 3 unknown males wearing dark clothing with their hands in their pockets walking in his direction. The victim said that he stopped his vehicle and got out. The victim then said that he saw the suspects walk in separate directions, grabbing something from their waists. The suspects told the victim not to move, but the victim ran, jumped over a wall, and heard at least 4 gunshots. He realized that he was shot in the right leg. At the scene, officers searched for the suspects but did not locate them. This case remains under active investigation, and anyone with any information is urged to contact detectives at 714-9834, 715-5522, or you can call Crime Stoppers USVI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
And we want to thank Melody Rames of the Virgin Islands Police Department for bringing us that information tonight. When we come back from this break, your Caribbean Report is next. An assassination attempt foiled in Trinidad and Tobago. Stay with us. Let's take a look at your Caribbean Report for tonight. In your Caribbean Report tonight, we start in St. Lucia, where the opposition St. Lucian Labour Party was returned to power in Monday's general election, 5 years after it was defeated by the United Workers' Party. According to preliminary results, the St. Lucian Labour Party won 11 of the 17 seats in Parliament. And turning now to Trinidad and Tobago, where Prime Minister Kimla Persad-Bissessar's law enforcement agencies will continue an onslaught on criminal elements in the country in the wake of the discovery of an alleged plot to assassinate her and 3 of her cabinet colleagues. colleagues. Security has been ramped up for Prasad Bisasar, National Security Minister Brigadier John Sandy, Attorney General Armand Ramalogan, and Foreign Affairs and Information Minister Dr. Suraj Ratan Ramakant. The cowardly plots against me and my people's government serve to strengthen my resolve and efforts to eradicate the scourge from our society, stated the Prime Minister. And that's your Caribbean Report for tonight. Time to check in with Miss Judy Fricks. She's got your Crime Stoppers report for this week.
This is Judy Fricks with your weekly Crime Stoppers report. Crime Stoppers is asking for your help to solve the following crimes. If you know something, say something, as law enforcement cannot control crime without your help. On St. Croix, in the early evening of February 2nd of 2011, police responded to a call of shots being fired in the Hospital Street area of Frederickstead. When they got there, they found that several males had been shot. Now, one male in particular was 30-year-old Jamal Alec. He ended up dying from his injuries. If you have any information about this murder, call Crime Stoppers and let us know so that there can be some closure for Jamal's family and his friends. And on St. John, sometime between Sunday evening of November 14th at 6:30 p.m. and Monday morning, November 14th at around 9:20 a.m., a burglary occurred at a store in Mongoose Junction. Now, the burglar entered through the western window, and once they got inside, they stole a green money bag that contained $1,215. If you have any information about this burglary, call Crime Stoppers. And on St. Thomas, we have a crime that we've brought you a couple of times before, but the police still need your help in solving it. This one occurred on Saturday, July 28th of 2007. It was at about 7:40 a.m. and police responded to some blood coming out of a trunk in the area of Peterboard Road. Now, when they got there, a male who was identified as Alvin Morton had been shot to death, and he was inside that trunk. If you have any information about this crime, call Crime Stoppers. The family desperately wants closure to this. You can submit information on these or any other crimes by calling 1-800-222-TIPS, which is 8477, or logging onto our website at crimestoppersusbi.org. If your information leads to an arrest or the recovery of stolen property or illegal drugs or weapons, you will receive a cash reward to be paid according to your instructions. Remember, the minimum reward for the arrest of a burglary suspect is $714, plus you will receive 10% of the retail value of any property recovered. The arrest of a homicide suspect pays a minimum of $1,500. Crime Stoppers has recently approved 8 new rewards. If you were a tipster, please contact Crime Stoppers in whatever way you got to us first, whether it's through the call center or through the website, and find out if you are eligible for a reward. Crime Stoppers would also like to remind you, a couple weeks ago, we ran a release asking for your help in ending the corruption in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The tips are coming in, and we would like to encourage you to continue to call Crime Stoppers with any information you may have on white-collar crimes, on bribes being taken, on stealing electricity, tax evasion, or anything of that nature. You will always remain anonymous when you call Crime Stoppers. This has been Judy Fricks with your weekly Crime Stoppers report.
And we want to thank Judy Fricks for bringing us the Crime Stoppers report tonight. When we come back from this break, mark your calendars. The Crucian Christmas Festival is on its way. And here's a look at the Christmas Festival calendar. Make sure you support our local students, artists, and vendors as well, as we have a safe festival season.
Celebrate the Crucian Carnival flavor for Festival 2011-2012. Calendar event kicks off pre-festival kickoff mini festival presentation at the Herbert Gregg Home for the Aged, mini parade, troops, music, and much more. This coming Saturday, December 3rd from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There's Soup de Cure, Sunday, December 4th from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Pirates Cove at Salt River Marina. $1,000 for the winner, $500 for the runner-up, and $250 for the third place. Christiansted Mini Village, Saturday, December 10th from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. and Sunday, December 11th from 7 p.m. to midnight at the Christian Sean Hendricks Vegetable Market in Christiansted. Festival kickoff, all-time traditional Parade, Sunday, December 11th, beginning at 6:30 p.m. and Sunday at Market Square. Parade goes down at King Street and Company Street to the Festival Mini Village. Keep it locked right here at News Channel 8. Celebrate the Crucian Carnival flavor for Festival 2011-2012.